Hello and welcome back to Living a Culture of Life podcast by Human Life International. I'm your host, Colleen, and I'm delighted to have you join us today. On today's episode, I share a conversation I had with Mario Rojas, who is HLI's Regional Director in Latin America. Over the past couple of days, I've had the honor of sitting down with our different regional directors and having conversations about the challenges they're facing in their regions and other topics I thought you'd be interested in. It was such a joy to sit down with our regional directors, and I'm so excited to share these episodes with you, so keep an eye out for them over the next couple of months. On today's episode, Mario shares the story of a legal situation faced by one of our missionaries earlier this year. Essentially, somebody tried to use Peru's legal system to label pro-life information as hate speech so it could be censored. On today's episode, Mario shares the story of what happened, how it was resolved, and what this means for pro-lifers going forward. If you're interested in learning more about Mario and his backstory and the work he's doing in Latin America, I'll link an episode in the description that I did with him a couple of years ago, where Mario shares how he joined HLI and different details about our work in Latin America. As always, if you're listening on our audio platforms, please pause right now and leave us a 5-star review and subscribe to the show. This will really help us reach new audiences. And if you're listening on our YouTube channel, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get new episodes every Thursday. Without further ado, please welcome Mario Rojas to Living a Culture of Life. Welcome to the podcast again, Mario.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you for coming on. I love that all of the regional directors are in town, so I get to sit down with each of you in person and have conversations. It's so good to see you in person, have you here, and talk about all the issues you're facing in the mission field.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, and I hope that we can have this podcast that reaches out people and motivates people, right?
Amen. So today I wanted to talk about a legal issue that one of our missionaries faced in the mission field earlier this year. Would you mind sharing the story with our audience of what happened? Because when I first heard about it, I was shocked and I was like, this is really important. People need to hear about it. So I'm excited to finally be able to share this on the podcast today.
Sure. Well, it just happens that in May 2024, we visited as HLI, a pro-life, pro-family mission with the blessing of Bishop Isaac Martinez. He is the bishop of the Diocese of Cajamarca, Peru, which is located in the north of Peru.
Okay.
At that time, during that meeting, that also participated members of the, they call it the Life and Family Commission of the Diocese, led by Father Juan Carlos Perez and Father Javier Hoyos, very pro-life people. We were invited to participate as HLI in a yearly book stand fair, which was going to take place in August 2024.
Okay.
Which was, a bit, we couldn't be there at that time. So we decided that Roxaida Lopez, our pro-life missionary from Venezuela, who was attending also that mission, will be participating.
Okay.
So in August 2024, Roxaida then traveled to Cajamarca and was going to present a talk about this is sexual education, integrated sexual education, but the real one, because currently there is a sexual education that is going on in schools and so on that calls for contraception, for protecting itself using condoms and things like that, and not the real thing of saying no for sexual relations before marriage or outside marriage,
Yeah.
Anyway, when the ultra-feminist groups in Cajamarca, which is a department in the north of Peru, heard that there was going to be a talk about sexual health or sexual education, they say, well, this is not really what we're interested in. And so they start pushing to be able to block that conference to be given.
Whoa.
Okay? Yes. This 2 weeks before, but they couldn't because, including the Diocese of Cajamarca, at the head of Father Javier Hoyos and Father Juan Carlos Perez, they say, well, why not? I mean, this is an open area. It's a fair, a book fair that families go and so on. Why can they not listen things that are very important as well?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, when the time came for Roxaida Lopez, together with Father Javier Hoyos, to give this conference on the sexual education, the real one, there were people, ultra-feminists, that were standing up in the back with signs and outside the auditorium as well, protesting, claiming that this is something like hate speech, and against diversity. Well, they were interrupting the conference and so on, but eventually they managed to finish the conference. But afterwards, the information was transcended everywhere, and Roxaida was invited to speak at TV stations, radio stations. Some of them would reach to all of Peru.
Wow.
So it really raised a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah.
But the ultra-feminists, they did not stay quiet. They started pressing the government to do something. So what happened is the district attorney of Cajamarca, by pressure of these ultra-feminist groups, they generated citation to the persons that participated in that conference. That means Roxaida Lopez, that means Father Javier Hoyos, and whoever organized the event.
Wow.
To go and make their declaration, to present themselves so that the district attorney will actually see if, in fact, it was, hate speech and against diversity and so on, because that's what they were claiming, the ultra-feminists. So Roxaida, she was back in Venezuela. She had to do the interview to the district attorney by Zoom. But the other people that lived in Cajamarca, they had to go to the district attorney office to make their declarations and so on. Luckily, the group was helped by Thomas Moro Institute, the local branch of Lima, Peru, without any charge. They helped them just to advise them legally and so on what to say. Plus, the Diocese of Cajamarca, led by the bishop and by the Life and Family Commission, they were publishing things saying that what kind of outrage is this? I mean, anyway, it took several months, Colleen, for the district attorney office to make a decision. Okay, so there was some. What happens if it's in the wrong way?
Yeah,
fines. Jail or what? Nobody.
And like you just said, Roxaida is in Venezuela. She's not even from Peru.
No.
So this was like an international issue, trying to get her in trouble, and she lives in a different country over this.
That is correct. And at the end, after several months, the final decision was made and say no, there was no hate speech. There was no, against diversity when you think like that. And therefore, the district attorney office said that litigation must stop, close down, and, erase everything. Nothing, no records, okay? But then the bottom line is that it was a definite attack toward the Catholic Church and toward the Christians that defend life and family, because they wanted to stop those people to participate in future, because this is a yearly book fair, and of course they would like to be able to participate in future ones. But it was a bit scary. But the bottom line, there was definitely a direct attack toward the Catholic Church and to Catholic values that, we defend life and family from moment of conception and natural death. And the teaching should be the truth. not the faulty things that are teaching currently in schools and so on, about gender ideology, about abortion, about so many other things that are teaching right now.
Well, if I remember correctly, because I read through some of the documents that you sent about this back when it was going on, some of the issues that they had were the fact that Roxida and Father Hoyos had been had been talking about the fact that young girls are going on contraception, and then that encourages them to have more sex, or that there's pornographic materials in books that are in the sex education programs. And I think the other one was that like condoms aren't effective at preventing STDs like across the board. So they were things that aren't discrimination. They're not discriminatory. It's just raising awareness that these are the issues that are found in these sex education programs, and parents should be aware of this. So it was really interesting to read it, looking at the list of things that they're saying are hate speech and discrimination, and looking at that saying that's not hate speech or discrimination. These are facts.
That's true. But, we have to be aware of the fact that for the ultra-feminists and the gender ideology, anything that goes against their ideas, they try to shut us down. And the best way to do it is hate. They are, racism or hate and things like that, And in fact, what you just said, it's true. The idea is to communicate about true things, because only truth will keep us going, and we will never stop saying the truth whenever we go and visit in mission trips. I personally go and talk to high school students about, there's one subject that I speak into over 100,000 students in college, high schools from all over Latin America, is sexual relations, AM and FM brings consequence, and you'll pay for it. And I say AM and FM is not a radio. AM in Spanish means before marriage, and FM in Spanish means outside marriage. If you are involved with sexual relations under those conditions, you can pay for it. And it's not me who is saying, are the statistics. If you get involved, you can have serious problems. And our idea is to communicate to them, before marriage, don't get involved with that. And outside marriage, don't get involved with that, because that way you will have a happy marriage. And a young guy or young girl that doesn't get involved with sexual relations before marriage can have a more stable, study, or his his objectives in the future can be better defined under those conditions.
Yeah, we've had Dr. Joe Malone on the podcast a few times talking about, just on like a biological, chemical level, what happens when a couple saves sex for marriage and only has sex with each other within the context of marriage, and just how much it bonds them together purely on a chemical basis versus people that are engaging in hookup culture and having lots of casual sex. It's actually detrimental to chemical bonding with someone. So even just the scientific level, not something moral and spiritual, but literally just the chemistry of what relationships looks like. It's better for your relationship to save sex for marriage and only have sex with the person you're married to.
Oh, yes. Plus the fact that, we have to realize, I remember one time when I was down in southern Chile, when I gave this talk, after I gave this talk, a young girl came by and said, teacher, if you had been here last year, my life would have been different. Wow.
Yeah.
And another young kid, a 14-year-old kid in Bolivia, after I gave a talk, he said, teacher, you just ruined my carnival. Because condones will not save you with it. Statistically speaking, there's a certain percentage of error that it will not protect you from,
diseases and stuff. Yeah, STDs. You might have ruined his carnival, but you might have helped save his life. So.
Maybe so. But the way he said it, made me laugh, and the way this young girl said made me sad. But in a way, happy. And I usually I interview after I give the talks like that to a person. What do you think about it? Will it make you change your way of life? And there was this little girl, 13-year-old from the Dominican Republic, that said, well, I thought having, sex or abortion was just killing a little baby, and that's it, no problem. But then I realized I'm killing a person like myself.
Mm.
And I thank my mom. She forced me to come to listen to this talk because it had changed my way of thinking.
Oh, that's lovely.
And yes, I will not, because we're looking for the young people to make a decision not to have sexual relations before marriage. That's what is going to really make you happy, and it really make you take the best decisions of your life.
It's going to set you up for just success in relationships in the future as well.
Of course.
So, yeah. Going back to the legal complaint, had that ever happened before with missionaries? Was there any precedent for having this type of international attempt to silence pro-lifers?
Not in my experience, not in my experience. Now, maybe other people had, but usually the anti-life people, they are trying to stop us in many ways. I know one time they managed to close the conference event completely, and we had to move somewhere else. A smaller place in some other place because of the intervention of them. So it might happen. It might happen. Depends on what kind of power do they have with the local government.
It reminded me of all the different stories that you hear of lawfare being used against pro-lifers, where you try to get them thrown in jail or fined for doing pro-life things. And this seemed just like another instance of it. But the fact that it was across like Roxida being in Venezuela and this happening in Peru, and it seemed like a very unique situation that people should be aware of, that there was this attempt made to try to shut down and silence pro-lifers and Catholics in Peru. And I'm very, very thankful that there was a great outcome and that it was shut down and that nothing happened. Nobody was fined. Nobody was arrested. But the fact that it even happened in the first place is telling and concerning.
Yeah, but we were really happy, and I guess in a way happy that the district attorney office was able to make a decision based on facts, not based on on the comments. They spoke about hate and so on. Well, let's find out. And when they asked the person and they somehow analyzed the lecture and they probably even saw the presentation and so on, they reached the point that it was not hate. It was not against diversity that they were claiming that was the case.
No, it's a very, very good outcome. How did people, like other missionaries that you work with, other pro-lifers, what was their response to this? Did it make them concerned about giving presentations in the future? Or is it kind of this attitude of we're always going to face resistance, we have to just be brave and keep going? Has there been any kind of reaction that way?
This mission, we're strong faith believers. We believe in our faith. We believe that this is something that the Lord calls us to go. We go and we have to go and speak the truth. And therefore, even the Lord says, well, you might be persecuted, you might be such and such and such. And I think the bottom line is that thank God the missionaries of Human Life International are truly committed to life and family issues, and we're not really scared.
Yeah.
But of course, we take care. We are careful. Whenever we go somewhere, we're not just jumping in parachute and not knowing what to find. Normally, we coordinate with the local people to arrange our arrival, to organize things and so on, and take us to where we should go because we don't know the places, right? But we trust the Lord, and normally, it can happen. Some things. In fact. One of our missionaries in our recent trip to Cali, Colombia, she became sick. Thank God it was not that serious, but, it can happen. You never know.
I've read a few of the different, heard stories about the different missions that you do to the various Latin American countries where you go for about 5 days and educate people. Could you tell our audience a little bit about that? Because I love reading those stories and hearing what's going on.
Yes, basically our idea is it is very important. We do have a program by internet on YouTube on a weekly basis on Tuesday at night. Now it's 8 p.m. Miami time. That on YouTube channel Vida Humana Internacional. That's Human Life International in Spanish, where we have at least 1 hour. Talk by a pro-life leader from Latin America. Could be our affiliate or could be somebody else we have contact with. He talks about issues related to life and family, and of course denounce as well the culture of death. Yeah. And then sometimes we do have requests and saying, could you possibly plan a visit? Because we do say, in case the diocese in your country is interested that Missionaries of Human Life International could visit, let us know, and we can plan ahead and stuff like that. So something like this came up on our latest mission trip to Cali, Colombia, where a priest of a parish heard about us. And he's interested. He's setting up his own pro-life chapter in his parish, and in fact, he even motivated those people to start taking our course.
Yay!
And then he invited us to go there. So we went there for 5 days. It's very 1 day, 2 days for travel, and 5 intensive days of trying to reach out high schools. If we can possibly speak to university students, medical professionals, parents, and we try to go to contemplative nuns. We try to go always to request prayers and so on. If possible, we speak with seminarians, we speak to priests, and always try to pay a courtesy visit to the bishop of the area to explain to him what was the purpose of our visit, so he can be aware, if he doesn't know about Human Life International, to know what it is. But in this case, the Archbishop of Cali even knew our former director of Latin America of Human Life International, Magali Yaguno. He even met him many years ago. So it was very nice, and he opened up the door for us to visit seminarians and give a talk to seminarians and things like that. And this is something that normally, for instance, if there is some people interested in, we as missionaries pay a visit, to reach us, and we can plan ahead. And normally it takes about 2 to 3 months to plan ahead to make the visit.
That's wonderful. And I believe while you're there, you also tell them about our online program, right? Where they can do follow-up research or follow-up education through the 10-module program?
Oh, yes, very much so. Normally, actually, even in our weekly lectures, we explain to them that if you're interested in learning more about life and family issues and problems, like, for instance, in Colombia right now, they are about to approve euthanasia,
Oh, no.
what's the importance, what does it mean, euthanasia? And so we normally say, well, you could, if you want, you can take our pro-life course, which is a 10-module, 10-month course that requires exams. And presently we are working on the possibility of having university certificates. In fact, in Colombia, it's a possibility that through the Archdiocese of Cali, we could be working with the Catholic University of Cali, Colombia, for our course to be introduced into the university and be offered as a bioethics pro-life certificate at the university level. Okay,
Yeah.
so some people might be interested in taking that. And well, in fact, people that have been watching our programs then sometimes become interested and start taking. And what we say is, if you are related to a parish, talk to your priest. If there's no pro-life center there, to motivate them, motivate them. And we even give them special discounts if they come in the name of a certain parish or of a parish, so that they can be motivated to start this pro-life program. And normally, people that take the course change their attitudes. Some people say it's like taking your lenses off and seeing different, because you realize that truly it makes a big difference. We even have extraordinary testimonies. We have one from Emeritus Archbishop from Asunción, Paraguay, that took our course, and we even have a video.
Great.
Yeah, we have it here, but we present a video here, which is with English subtitles. He said he has taken the course and he recommends to take the course because it really shows things that we might not even be aware of.
I love the format that you do with the combination of 5-day missions and then follow up with the online course. It just seems like such a great way to meet people in person, establish those in-person connections, get people excited, and then offer them a way to continue education further on where they can solidify their learning. And it's not just, you don't just let that mission spark of that excitement. I attended this great talk, I'm on fire, and then it dies out. You give them a way to keep kindling that flame and having it burn
Yes.
brighter.
And sometimes, we have experience in such a way that after a mission that people start taking out of course, and then we say, okay, if we have good response, we might plan another visit a year from now.
Oh, that's great.
And then when we come back, we go back to that place, things change so much because everybody is interested. Everybody wants to ask questions and so on. The participation is fantastic. And, they're more aware of what things happening and so on. And that's when we have, what do you call this, care centers that start developing, and people are more concerned about life issues and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And as of right now, the 10-module course is only available in Spanish. Is that correct?
Yes, but our goal right now is to start introducing the English version in our format, in our Spanish format, in the Caribbean islands.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. We hopefully 2026, by the end of the year, we'll hope to be able to introduce there. And gradually, if it's successful, then might be able to do it, all the other English-spoken locations in the world if they want to copy our format.
Exactly. No, that's wonderful. I hope for that. I hope that this is something that will be available in English for the United States and all the other English-speaking countries at some point. It's been really cool to watch how it's grown over the past few years of just getting out there and educating people and just kind of solidifying what the format is like so that we can then begin expanding it. So, and if anyone listening who speaks Spanish wants to take this course, where would they go to find it?
Yeah. Okay. If the person is located in the United States, the contact will be our HLI office in Miami, Adolfo Castañeda. If the person is listening in Latin America, the contact will be us in, we invite them. We normally say, well, look at our YouTube Vida Humana Internacional site. And that's normally our address and everything is there,
Okay.
But that's the best way to communicate to us,
Yeah. Well, I will link your YouTube channel in the description so people can go there and then they can find all the resources there that they need. So.
Yes, by all means. Or put my email there if you want.
Okay.
No problem.
That way our listeners have a way, if they're listening and they speak Spanish and they're interested in this course, they know where to go.
Yes, very much so.
Well, thank you so much for this conversation, Mario. It's been great to hear about the situation that Roxada faced, hear a little bit more about that, and then hear about the happy outcome that we had, and also to hear a little bit about mission work in Latin America. So thank you
so much, Colleen.
It's great to have you
God
here.
bless, and I hope it touched some hearts, some people.
I hope it did as well. And to all of our audience, please like and subscribe. If you're listening on our audio platforms, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe to the channel. And as always, keep on living a culture of life. God bless.